YouTube, Ronin Kaze. Hopefully I'll turn the music down. I did. Hey, how's everyone doing? Well, let me get more over here so you don't have to see whatever that is over there. Junk. So we'll come over here more. I got Rogue here today. So Rogue was one of the first games I played. It's the first game I moved to system to system to system. It was low on resources. It was pretty fun. It was quick to get in and out of. This is like ASCII, what you're looking at. All those characters are just characters that are made on from the keyboard. So it's a very early game. And I think it's a good game, and it spawned a whole genre of games. And when you hear a game that's roguelike, it's one of these type of games. And that's what Hades2 is, and you're going to see Hades2 a little bit later. But I'm going to talk to you about, earlier when I started this channel off, I went over RPG games you should play. And I might have mentioned New World. New World was a game created by Amazon Games, and they put a lot of money into it, and it took a while. I bought it when it came out. I thought it was a pretty good game. There were a lot of YouTubers that went on it, and then they fell out of love with it. There's my... Normally I'm watching sports, so it's longer, and the white is lighter, longer, but I got commercials on. So recently, New World said they're shutting it down. At the end of 2026, they're shutting it down. So I would remove that from recommendation for a game you should play, because obviously it's the point of you're putting in all this time in the game. A game like Star Wars was out since... and ESO and Lords of the Ring, these games have been out for like years. Some of them up to 15 years. So imagine you have 15 years. You might not always play that game every single day, but you put a lot of time of it. The Division 2 is a game like that also. So that's one of the things I wanted to get on and talk about is we talked about when's it time to get rid of a game. I wouldn't play a game that I know is going to be shut down in a little bit. At this point, there's just too many other games to play. I think that's a bad sign. And if Amazon came out with another game, I probably wouldn't play it, because it's like, well, when are you going to pull the plug on that as well? And so when you hear about like Amazon and Netflix, they don't keep things going or shows going, and they pull them off after a year or 2 years. Now, granted, sometimes the writing gets stale. Maybe there's no vision. Maybe it's good they pulled them off. But there's a lot of times where some entertainment has to find an audience. And games are like that too. But people develop a really strong following on games. So I was going to put New World into my rotation of things. I had a problem loading it. And with this new expansion came out, I wanted to play it, but I had that problem. And then once they announced that they weren't going to play it anymore, I was like, screw this. So you can see the mechanic here of Rogue going on, and I'm going to go into Hades2 in a second. So I'm going to replace that game. What am I going to replace with? Well, I think I'm going to have an ESO, a couple of those. And the ESO stuff I'm going to show you is the builds and how much you can put into the builds. And we'll talk about that in a second. And I almost did this with Star Wars, The Old Republic. They came out with a new thing. I'll talk to you about it here in a second. But I'd like you to, if you could, like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe, all those kind of things. Hades2 is coming up. And if you want to help support me, you can buy me a cup of coffee, or really, honestly, energy drink. And you can help that way. And the idea is, once I get enough money in there, I'm going to buy a mini PC, and I'm
Everything all right, Dora?
Turn it into a gaming PC. I'm not going to raffle it off. My wife corrected me about raffle. I'm not going to raffle. I'm just going to give it to somebody. So it's not a raffle. You don't have to buy anything. I'm just going to give it to a listener. However, the legal way of that. I don't want to raffle. I'm not trying to make money on top of giving you a PC. I just want to give you a PC. So I want to give people that support the channel.
There you are.
I want to give everyone that's on the channel, maybe I'll have a live stream, everyone on the live stream, and then I'll just give a PC away. So here's Hades2, and I think I'm on level 4.
And get yourself a fair deal in exchange.
But you're going to see I'm kind of doing some housekeeping before I go and play the game. And I've gotten a lot better at the game. I'm not using the game. This is a game I would say you should use with a joystick. other thing about Linux, and I got to double check this, but my Android works great with a joystick. When I bought a joystick, I didn't buy an Xbox joystick. I bought a PlayStation joystick. Did some reviews on it, like, oh, it's better, but it wasn't compatible really with Windows, so it's been aside. Recently, I have like a gaming tablet, a Lenovo Tablet 3 or whatever it's called, and it hooked right up to the joystick. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is see if I can do that with Linux. And I'm also going to give you some more information on Linux. So I'm going to get in that cadence. If I get busier, I might slow the channel down from a daily posting and then kind of scale it back to maybe I'll have, you know, I won't do once a week with, I might put, you know, longer content. It's just the pace, because I don't script this. I'm talking off of what comes to my mind. I want to talk to you about, I recommend that you should play MMO RPGs, and then one of them just goes bankrupt. So this is like the thing you got to think about. Might put Final Fantasy 14 in there. I got to see if I want to play that again. I've made so many alts on a lot of these games. I don't like going through the beginning. Sometimes that's good to give you a flavor, and it's nice to level. There's a good feeling. My endorphins are going crazy with all this leveling. So, but that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today is, you know, staying with games you like. And that's one of the things, you know, you might say a franchise like Battlefront or Call of Duty, but you have different versions of it where you liked it or didn't like it. And so the one thing I like about the Division 2 is I can go back into it and I can play what I want to play. They have new modes, and they're talking about having a survival mode. The survival mode in Division 1 was fantastic. But they talk about all that stuff, and as long as you don't screw up the main gameplay, it's great if you do that and build on it. And again, you can get in and out of these games, which is nice. So I think that's because you're looking for entertainment, right? You're looking to escape from what you're doing for a little bit and then go have some fun for a while, and maybe hang out with your friends online,
your struggles never
hang out
are
with
in
your
vain,
kids
young
online,
one.
or something like that.
You know,
I remember one of the first games I played with my kids was Gordon Freeman, Half-Life 2, and we got it working on, like,
though it falls to us.
I got 3 people. We had like 3 horrible computers, but we could play
honor me, Commander.
multiplayer on that, and getting that working was a big thing. And we were in Sault Ste. Marie when
Death to Kronos,
when we
Commander.
were doing that. It was
Knock
pretty
him dead,
great,
kiddo.
and I remember playing that with kids, so it was great. So that's always a good experience playing with your kids. So thinking of rogue experience, you can see this a little bit different. You're a little bit closer to action. It's not ASCII. The graphics are great. And so I enjoy playing this. I haven't gotten past like the first tier, because eventually I get to this boss, and I was talking about the keyboard. It's WASD or AWSD or whatever it is. WASD, I think they call it. And so it moves blocks, and I think with the joystick I can do that. But I'm not great at these games. This is something I'm out of my comfort zone playing one of these games, because there's some, and I'm going to tell you the truth here for a second. I have Rogue Legacy 2, and I was going to show the progression between Rogue Legacy 2. And when I got Rogue Legacy 2, I couldn't get out of the first, like, 10 seconds. So I just stopped there, and I just bounced back and forth and could never get out. I was going to show you that, but you don't need to know that I'm incompetent with jumping. You knew that from all my skills in Destiny. So, this game is important to me. How do I relate this to your life? You just got to let go of that. So there's a standard. The game is going to go out of business. Let me put it this way. There's some games that are in good old games that are now, they're, you know, abandonware. That's different than a multiplayer game that you're going on, you're counting on the server. And what I've noticed with a lot of games like Lord of the Rings Online, ESO not so much, but Swoda, other games, Dungeons & Dragons, they started by different companies, but then they sold them up to other companies that game servers or whatever. Maybe they sold them employees. I don't care that much about the business. This isn't the business of gaming. This is just life.
can use
So
this.
when do you give up on stuff? So I give on stuff up that's relatively new, and they've got out of it because their business model is maybe they said, oh, there's not enough people, we're not getting a return. What was great about New World is when you would craft, you cut down trees, it would cut down huge big trees. It would change the environment for a while. For a while, so as long as you could cut down, go into that space, and you would still like the cool part of the forest. It was pretty amazing. I liked that part. The maps were good. There had some good mechanics. Part of the player I played, like I'd play like a resto guy, restorative, healing kind of guy, and the weapon for that had a nice sound. Whatever it got, I got used to it. I liked that. But if you're going to get rid of it, Amazon, and the billions you're making, you can't just throw us a frickin' bone. I understand it. You got to make money. But why would I buy a game from you again? I will say that the Amazon Thursday night game where you can get to all 22 views from behind is fantastic. So if you're getting rid of New World to give me all 22, thank you, Amazon. Rant off. Rogue games are great because you can get in, get out. They're a nice kind of thing to have in your back pocket. There's a lot of DOS games. So what you saw me when I was playing the original Rogue, that was like on a PC Junior element.
I'll wrap you up and
Emulator,
sing you
not
soon to
elevator.
sleep. Drink of you and leave
So,
a little.
that's kind of something to think about. Is
The
getting into some
intricately
DOS stuff.
woven
Those are
spike.
some good games.
I'll wrap
The
them
games
back.
I'd like the most, there was a
Arachne,
series
the
called
outfit
Mech
you wrote for me
Warrior.
was so beautiful.
There was Mech Warrior, Mech Warrior 2, then there was Ghost Bear Legacy, and then I think Mercenaries. And those games were great. I could play those games for hours. And a game like,
What a sight you
oh
are.
gosh,
Thank you,
I'm not going
Arachne.
to think of it, but it's a space alien game, Iceman. On the
says
first
this is
game, we didn't
okay.
have the first one, I had the second one in the water. I played that for a while. Some of those isometric games where you have a crew doing stuff, I get bummed out when I got a guy that picked up a flop and died because I'm stupid, because those games are like turn-based. But anyways, you too. So Rogue Legacy, I do is a good game. I just think it's more of a platform. So I like Hades2. It's a good game. You can see in my gameplay that I just get shot. These are a good staple. So that's the thing. You got to know when to say goodbye to something that's not good. If you have a stand or something hits that, you got to just get rid of it. Watch a lot of reality choice YouTube. And what I hear and see a lot of times is people just stay in horrific situations and they don't know when to get out of them. You don't want to jump too early, but gosh, you don't want to stay where you're just getting beaten up. So that's this thing with Amazon. It's almost like a prison. Why would I play your game for the next year and then you're going to close the server? I've been on a closed server once where the game shut down. Azurion's Call 2 was, in my opinion, one of the best games of all time. The graphics were fantastic. When the game first came out, it was a lot of physics, like you can ring the game, but then it just got a little bit because there was a lot of rubber bands. So a lot of that, but they had instruments, and I have some game footage of the Lord of the Rings where I'm playing Minstrel, and I have a drum, and that was awesome. So the next and Call 2, there's a race called Tomorrow.
No.
I love that. It was great. And some fans were trying to make it up on how I would get on it. I will try to keep it. The other thing I was going to show you is what I'm doing in Linux, because I think now's the time to go over into Linux. I've tried going over to Linux a bunch of other times, and I've started and stopped. And I got, of the PCs I have one and a half Windows, and I got 3 Linux, and I got a Mac, and then I got a bunch of tablets. So I'd like to show you. And this Catchy Os, what I like about it is this kind of preset of games and Steam. So the things that you're going to eventually want to do. But I also want to show you, like, how you can do some other stuff. And it's stuff you should already know how to do because you're doing it for a while. So I'm going to kind of mix that in also. But that's what these games are playing on tonight. So this is Ronin Kaze with a myriad of things. New World is off the list. Slodar, I gotta do some more research. It might be off the list. I'm gonna add some different games. I'm gonna show you some things. Giving you games too. I want to see them justice side. That's my
Return to Shadow.
There I died. Sorry, YouTube. Ronin Kaze out.